Columbus Day. It's a quest for Jerusalem. My guest is Dr. Carol Delaney, received master's from Harvard Divinity School and doctorate from the University of Chicago in cultural anthropology. So many elements that were vital in Columbus's self-understanding and in his cultural understanding. So many elements have been left out of the great story of Columbus's travels. When I was a kid growing up, I was told that Columbus was discouraged from going on this voyage because the earth was flat and he might fall off the edge of it. Since then, I'm told medieval people did not understand that the earth was flat.
Most people knew the earth was round. But I think there were still people that were a little nervous because medieval maps at the very edges of the known world said there be dragons. Then people thought if they went down below the equator, they wouldn't be able to get back up. And so that was prohibited people from going down around the Horn of Africa until they got over that fear. And most people understood the world was round.
How would you characterize his spirituality? Was he a prayerful man? I'm curious about his interior life. Do we know much?
I quoted from Las Casas, who said that he was very devout, performed the offices regularly.
Wow.
Did the prayers all the time. And on the ship, in fact, he did all the different canonical hours. And every evening they did the Ave Maria and evening prayer. At the end of the second voyage, I don't know if people realize this, but he took the robes of a lay Franciscan of the Third Order.
Wow.
His signature, which is called a sigil because some of it has not been deciphered, is a combination of Greek and Latin letters. Christopher, which is the Christ bearer. He had definitely taken this idea that he was the Christ bearer. He was the one who was going to bring Christianity to all the people who had not yet heard.
He gets a bad reputation as an administrator. Was he a poor administrator?
He probably was a poor administrator. Half of the time he was off exploring on the boat and left other people to do the business. One of his brothers came and I think was a lot more strict. Columbus had, in the beginning, very good relations with the natives that he came in contact with. And the chief, Wakanagari, they remained friends throughout. When the Santa Maria went aground, he had to leave 39 men there. He left written instructions, which we have. He said, do not go marauding, do not go stealing, do not rape the women, etc. And, of course, the men did all of that, and he comes back, and they're all dead. So that created some problems. Other people think that he went there to enslave people. If you're going to meet the Grand Khan, you are not thinking about conquest or enslavement of the most powerful, most luxurious empire in the world. So that was not the plan. But eventually there were some natives who didn't want them there, and they started fighting the group that Columbus was friends with. Some of those people, absolutely, they were rounded up, they were sent back as slaves. Columbus said they should be treated better than other slaves, they'll become Christians, and blah, blah, blah. He remained friendly and loyal to the people that he first knew.
Yes.
As far as administration, then Isabella sent somebody over to look into it, but the person she sent was even worse. It was much worse. And when he went back and changed, she took them off, and he went back on another voyage. Actually, the guy who had been sent over went down with a ship because he wouldn't listen to Columbus, saying there was a big storm coming.
There was a debate over the moral status of these new people they were discovering. And I know that Las Casas had an important role in helping to protect the humanity. Right. When Columbus arrives, does he know he's dealing with human beings? He knows these are human beings. Okay.
Yes.
So there's no doubt.
He even said they're very intelligent and they learn everything very quickly. They'll become Christians very easily. He respected them. Columbus never had slaves.
This is such a wonderful, rich drama, and it's enhanced by understanding the full range of motivations.
There was some historian at one point at the John Carter Brown who said, what does an anthropologist have to say about Columbus? And I think it really makes a difference because you have to understand the cultural and religious time that he lived in.
Absolutely.
And without that, I think a lot of people seem to think he's our moral and mental contemporary. His chips or his clothes are different, which is ridiculous.
That's right.
It's ridiculous. We live in our own cultural world and time, and he certainly, I think, was a man of his time and ahead of it in many ways.